In this segment we're going to be making tagine. I'm very excited about this, which is why I'm kind of laughing, but when I put all these spices out, it just makes me happy because it just smells so good. A tagine is a Moroccan stew, I guess you could call it, and it's named after the dish. So the dish itself we don't have, but we can actually make the food without the actual dish. The dish is a ceramic or a clay base with a nice pointy lid. You've probably seen them around. We can make the food exactly the same without that special vessel. It just looks cool, that's all. So let's quickly go over the spices for the chicken. And you want to do this at least an hour before, hopefully 4 hours before, and even better, overnight. So what we've got here for my spice blend, we've got some freshly cracked pepper. We've got saffron. Now this is an optional item. You don't have to use saffron because it's expensive, but we've got a nice pinch of saffron and turmeric in the same dish. These are your colours, which are going to give that beautiful yellow tagine colour. We've got some paprika. You can use regular, hot, sweet or smoked. This is actually a smoked paprika. We've got some ground ginger, about a teaspoon of ground ginger. We've got some ground cumin. You can also use coriander. And then last but not least is that classic Moroccan flavour in a tagine is ground cinnamon. So you're going to throw all of these in a bowl together just to make it easier to mix. And then after that you're just going to throw them on top of the chicken. So get all those in there, give them a good mix up. Look at the colours in there, look at that, isn't that beautiful? So mix those up and then throw them on your chicken. Now what I've got here is chicken thighs. I've got 8 chicken thighs, about 2.5 to 3 pounds. You can use chicken breast, you can use chicken breast, chicken wings, chicken thighs. I prefer just dark meat in my tagine because it just absorbs the flavour that much better and it falls off the bone, it doesn't dry out like breast. So, on your spices, in there. Give it a good shake. Get them all mixed up. Coat that chicken really well, just like that, and you're going to let it sit for at least an hour. Make sure it's in the fridge if it's more than an hour, okay? After that, we'll go into the production. Okay, so for the rest of the ingredients for tagine, they're pretty simple, and you can probably find these anywhere with the exception of one item which we'll go over in 1 second. We've got coriander, or cilantro as we call it in the States, and just some fresh flat leaf parsley. Now these two herbs are only used at the very end to finish and adds that great burst of colour. On top of that we've got garlic, about 3 cloves, 1 large onion, roughly diced, doesn't have to be perfect. We've got half a cup of raisins. Now this is going to add that beautiful sweet flavour which is classic in these tagines, which is sweet and salty. And the salty comes from green olives. Now these are pitted green olives. If you can't find pitted green olives, you can use black olives, but please don't use the canned stuff. Use Kalamata olives or Niçoise olives, but try and find pitted green because they really are perfect for this dish. And then finally, these are preserved lemons. Now this is classic in Moroccan tagines. You can make them, they're pretty simple to make. All you really need to do, as you can see here, is make an incision, and you pack that incision with salt, and then you pour boiling water over in a jar or a container, and then you let it sit for about 4 to 6 weeks. I know it seems like a long time, but they won't go bad because of the amount of salt in there. But the other way you can do it is actually just take the peel of a lemon, sprinkle it with salt the night before, and the next day just rinse it off. So that's a quick version. These are preserved lemons, so if you can get a hold of these, let me show you real quick what to do with them. Just cut off the little stalk at the bottom, and then you're going to cut them in half again. Remove the pulp, because you don't want the pulp, it's really salty. And then once you've removed the pulp, cut these into nice strips like that, and then throw them in a sieve, and then you're just going to rinse them. You rinse them to get the excess salt or the brine off, and then that's all you really need to do for the preserved lemons. And like I say, these are salty and so are the olives, so again, please don't add salt until you've tasted the finished dish. That way you can adjust it at the end. You can't take salt out, but you can always add it. So Very simple, and then we'll go into production of the tagine next. So now that the chicken's been marinating, it looks great, it smells great. We've got a pan on with hot oil in. Now if you're using a real tagine, remember to use a heat diffuser to allow the heat to spread out and don't break the clay bottom. And you probably don't need to brown it, but I like the brown, and I like to use a frying pan to get that brown. So skin side down, remember that, because that's the part that browns the best, and you're going to turn it over and let it cook skin side up for presentation. Make sure your pan's big enough, otherwise you won't have enough room for the rest of the ingredients. So get those in, brown them for about 5 minutes, and then we'll add the rest of the stuff in the mix. So about 5 minutes in, we're going to take the lid off and just throw in our onion and garlic before we add the rest of the stuff, just so they steam a little bit. So in with your onion and garlic, get it in there. And don't worry about stirring it right now. In a couple of minutes we're going to turn over that chicken and you'll see how beautiful it looks. Just spread those out and put your lid back on and let them sweat there for a couple of minutes. So the chicken is well browned, look at that, beautiful colour, and it smells absolutely fantastic. We're going to turn it over and let the onions sit on the bottom now, but we're also going to add the rest of our ingredients. Turn those over and just spread them out. Put the juice in there. And then in goes the rest. So sprinkle on your preserved lemons or your lemon peel or whatever you're using. Followed by your raisins, get those in, make sure they're all evenly spread out. Your green olives, your salty touch as well there. Get those in, a little bit of juice if you want. And then finally I've got about a cup and a half of beef stock, but you can use water, you can use vegetable stock. We're going to add about half of this for right now, and then keep our eye on the amount of liquid as it cooks. The minimum amount of time is going to be about half an hour, but I ideally like to put it down real low and let it simmer for a couple of hours without touching it, and you can present it in the pan itself. See, it will look like that when it's done, just with a lot thicker sauce and a lot more flavour. So that is it for now. Turn the heat down, put a lid on, and the lid is going to act like your tagine. It will collect all the condensation and then it will run back down the sides into the sauce again. So turn it down as low as it will go and just keep your eye on the liquid, and that is it for now. Later on you're just going to taste it, sprinkle on your parsley and your cilantro, your coriander, and present it in the pan. Easy and done. The time has come. Look at that. Now this is the finished tagine. Look at the dark caramelization on it. The sauce is completely reduced to a nice, thick, flavorful stew, and to finish it off, just a little bit of parsley and a little bit of cilantro. And that is it. Chicken tagine with lemon and olives served with couscous. Can't wait to try it! Take a heart.